Welcome back, crew. We are here with our June game of the month, the Die RPG by Kieron Gillen. One of the cool features and something I'm excited, I'm really hoping it plays out well, is you can actually go through and use their ritual system, which is like a way to generate your adventure that gives you some rails, but lets you still be very creative with it. Usually, I hate running pre-written adventures. I'm just not good at it. But this is a way to do so with kind of the rails. You get some support from the adventure, but still be able to do all your own thing, which is what I love. So today we're going to go through and build out our PC's personas, which is one of the core pieces of the ritual section. We did lines and veils and some of the other magic circle pieces offline, but we're going to get into kind of the big meaty pieces of the game online. So with that, so we're going to go through and ask a couple of questions. The next few questions are kind of close to lines and veils, but they're actually about game mechanics. So I wanted to have this on the recorded section. So the biggest thing that we're going to ask first for the crew, and I like kind of everybody sign off or chime in with what they think, is what type of tone do you want for the game? So with this, they give kind of three different options that you can run with it. You could do standard fantasy, where kind of the personas have left their mundane lives into this magical world, where they can kind of be heroes and fight old wrongs, and it's usually kind of bright colored, clean, and the choices are usually black and white. You can do dark fantasy, which is what they list as the default, and that's kind of what the comic leans towards, where the personas are going to confront kind of their past regrets, fight old enemies, try to overcome some of the core issues in their own lives, and try to see if they can come to an understanding of themselves and the world. And then dark horror, which is even darker than that. So this could be this kind of goes in a little bit more of a dark place, where you can kind of focus on more kind of the true horror of the die world, some of the more serious issues your players face without kind of gamifying it, if that makes sense. So a little bit darker on that side. My preference would be the dark fantasy, but what does the crew think on this side?
Is there a Candyland gumdrop option?
I would be, preferable to dark fantasy as well.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Sweet. Anybody object on that? All right. So one of the cool pieces of die, I'm gonna give a small spoiler here. Once you get pulled into the world of die, there's only one way to leave or stay. The entire group that's living has to agree. So if you're alive, you get a vote. If you're dead, you don't. And with that, probably pretty easily to guess, comes intergroup conflict and PvP. So one of the big things I wanted to see what you guys are thinking about is PvP up for you guys. I'll give you the default to start with this. Basically, because during the climax, there's going to be some direct conflict between player characters, with some wanting to stay in the world, some wanting to go home, back to their real lives, and you kind of sort it out from there. With usually the climax is the big piece for PvP is where it's very used sparingly or if not at all throughout the rest of the game. And then so that's kind of the default option. The other option is there's no direct conflict, and the third option is there's just direct conflict everywhere. I would so wide range of spectrums there. My thoughts are probably doing kind of the default option, but I do want to leave that up to you guys. So you'll probably be the ones duking it out.
I would also prefer the default option.
Yep. It sounds pretty interesting with that. I don't want to go back to my life. Well, I do, and it's worth killing you over.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you want to be in a fantasy world and you've got superpowers, or do you want to go back to your 9 to 5?
I got a wife and kids. Oh man.
Brief aside, do you guys ever remember Battlefront 1 or 2 came out, that Star Wars commercial where the X-Wing showed up at this like guy's cubicle job?
I don't know that one, no.
Don't remember that ad.
I'll link it later. Guys, if people watching the YouTube, I'll link it in the comments too. I think about that video far too much on that work, but it's just a little bit of reference there. So the last big thing that we're going to get into before we actually go into persona generation. Wow, that was hard to say. One of the classes here does have a little bit of a chance to ruffle feathers, we'll say. The Dictator is a really cool class, very narratively interesting. And I hope we get to have it in, but I don't want to force it on anybody. But the Dictator, one of the classes, is able to utilize their voice to mentally command, making them feel intense emotions, making them kind of be a thrall under their service, and kind of a lot of crazy. They can even attack with their voice, make somebody feel such fear they have a heart attack, such joy they tear their eyes out. It's a really interesting class to read about, but it could be a weird one for having in the party. So exactly.
Yeah,
So with that, there's a couple of options here. So there's two different questions I should ask. Do you guys want the Dictator in the game, just at all?
Mm,
Yeah, that's fine. I don't.
Yeah,
I'd be
I'm
fine
not
with that.
opposed. So
Perfect.
party
And the
on.
next question is, do you guys want the Dictator to be able to use the voice to control other PCs, player characters? And there's a couple options here, so I'll go through them. So yes, no, only on the PCs, which is actually NPCs, which is actually the default for this one. Maybe, but the player playing the Dictator will need to consent, or the player playing the one that the Dictator is using the voice on will need to consent each time. That's the option I lean towards, but I'm gonna leave this one completely up to you guys.
are there any examples you can provide quickly of what some of those actions would be?
The,
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, a good opportunity for kind of discussion on what that thing is, and maybe it evolves into something. Yeah,
Sweet.
I agree with that as well. That'd be my preference.
I'm going to throw this out there. If any of you are the Dictator, I'm game. Whatever. Let's ride. So you can say yes.
hashtag Kia boys drive it
I
like
don't
a
even
stroller,
hear.
huh?
Don't even hear.
I don't need all them words. Just tell me.
Perfect. Well, those are the only big pieces there. I'm glad we got to keep the Dictator in. That and the Godbender, I think, or to get that, the Godbender and the Fool are probably my three favorite classes with the system, because they're all three are ridiculous in completely different ways. Sweet. So yeah, now we're gonna get to the persona generation. So we're gonna go through and ask different questions. We're using the reunited ritual, which is after X amount of time, we all met in school and then played a game, some type of fantasy game, and then dispersed for X amount of time, and now we're all back together, playing again, and we're gonna kind of dive into why we're playing again, who we were back in the day, and how long it's been since we've played together. So I'm just gonna, for the first few, I'm gonna call out. There's 4 questions where one player gets to answer them. So I'm gonna call out. I'm not gonna go in the order they gave. I think one of the questions needs to go first. They put last. But we're gonna kind of go through that, or just to pick on random people for it. So with those, since we're reunited, we're high school. We were played in high school with this fantasy game. Doomer, how long has it been since we left school and left the game? If they give some options, they give 5, 10, 20 years, but you can completely freestyle it as well.
Yeah, I think 10 would be a good amount. I think 20 years you're too far removed.
Perfect. This one's not on the list, but I'm going to give it to you as well, Doomer, since you picked the time or the length of time. What time? What year is it now? Are we in the 2020s? Are we in the 10s, the 90s? Where are we at?
I'd say we played during the 90s and now it's the rockin' 2000s.
Nice. Sweet. So next question we've got on this side. Rich, I'm going to pick on you for this one. Why did this group get together? Why did we start playing together? Were we geeky kids at the school? Were we only friends? Were we drama kids? Well, why did we start rolling dice?
No, I remember that coming up in chat, and I definitely love that, as you might infer.
I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering which one of us just couldn't let go of the dream, and still plays in a cover band every other weekend. That's some crappy hole in the wall bar.
That's definitely going to be one of the questions now. So you all think of that as you get closer. And I think I don't know if I mentioned this on the recording piece. Once you guys have a name for your PC, you can shout it out anytime, and I'll write it down, and that'll be your PC's real life name. But yeah, so 20 years. We're in the we guys are together. Oh, actually, we were all together. I forgot I'm a player in this too. In the 90s,
Yeah.
we were a grunge, or at least a band. I think a grunge band, but I don't know if we decided what music type. But grunge band in the 90s. It's been 20 years. And let's see. What's the next question there? So we were in a school. Adkim, I'm picking on you for this. What was our school like? Was it like? Were we in a preppy school? Were we in a kind of just this low rent public school charter? Doesn't have to be a type of school. Just tell us what this school was like as a whole.
I'm wondering if we were the kids that didn't want to be rich, but we like, oh, we were well off, but the hell with that. Screw it, mom and dad. Music is awesome. And like, oh, why aren't you getting ready for your lacrosse game? Because I'm going to rock out. You know?
I like that.
Yeah. And then like we begrudgingly became successful because of nepotism or something. Like, fine,
we're still in the struggle though. We're still.
No, there's lots to struggle with, but fine. I guess I'll go run it. I'll run the Ford dealership. Whatever, Dad.
Nice. So sweet. So 90s, 20 years, grudge band from a rich school where we just had the life, but we still wanted to fight the powers that be. All right, Todd. So we played a game before. It was a fantasy world, but tell us about the world that we played in. Like, was this like a dark fantasy where all your choices were kind of out to get you? Was this more lighthearted where we played vampires? What were we? What was the game that we last played together before we all broke up?
I'm gonna go with something that is like I lean into my personal experience with Morkborg. So like it's meant to be this really dark thing, but it's never taken seriously. Like, fart jokes and other, like, it's just, classic teenage immaturity, even though the world is meant to be really serious and dark.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. I still have to figure out a name for my master character, but I feel like he's gonna be the one that's like trying to make it serious. But then somebody make a fart joke and he just get pissed. Sweet. So yeah, so we've got that. So these are the kind of the four framing questions. So we know how long we've been apart. We've played in a band. We've got we came from a preppy school. It's been 10 years. I think I said 20 a couple times, but it's been 10 years. It's early thousands. And those are kind of the framing questions. So next big piece we're going to do for each person is going to answer these individually. So I'll pick on Rich. You're top of my screen on the left. So how did people think of you at school? And it gives kind of some answers for kind of the typical stereotypes. What was your stereotype at school? Were you the jock, the bully, the nerd? How did you fit in at school? Nice. Actually, I think I'll just go around with this one rather than kind of do one person the whole 4 questions. I think I'll just cycle through everybody. So Doomer, you are up next. What did people think of you at school? What was your kind of your stereotype at our prep school?
I think my stereotype was like the outcast. I'm thinking about the weird kid from the Breakfast Club, you know. Sort of gothy, sort of weird. Yeah. Not really one to fit in with the prep aesthetic.
Nice. All right, Todd, you are up next. What was your stereotype in the school?
All right, so my character name is Alex Toots Fisher. Toots because I played the trumpet in band. So, begrudgingly, everyone gave me the nickname. My fellow bandmates gave me the nickname Toots. Even though I think I'm going to claim drummer in the band, in our band, rock band, but I played trumpet in the school band. So definitely that's kind of where, I'd probably lean into who I was, the band geek against, somewhat against my will. Yeah.
Nice. All right, Adkim, you're up next.
Well, let's say the drama kid. Why not?
All right.
Yeah, heavily involved in school theater. Didn't mind people that maybe relished in the attention a little bit too much.
Okay. Just like being in the spotlight?
Yeah, feels good. Real good. Look at me. Now look at me some more and keep on looking.
Look at me in this light. Yeah, look at me.
Sounds like the frontman of our.
I was about to ask, what would your role be in the band?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really weird if I said all that. Like, yeah, I play the bass. Yeah, so yeah, frontman it is.
Frontman, all right. Sweet. So yeah, we've got the kind of the stereotypes you guys played in school. But the next question is, what way were you different than that stereotype? Oh, actually, hold on. I've got to pause. I've got to make my own persona with this as well. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I'm a player here too. So so I actually answer this question. So yeah, we're preppy rich kids. He's in a grunge band, but he's still like an elitist snob. He's that dude that would you tell him about the music you like, and he would go on a 20-minute rant about why that's wrong and why there's a better type of music that you should be listening to. I wish I knew more about grunge because I'd have opinions on that side, but he picked Nirvana and no, that's too mainstream. You should listen to XYZ grunge band.
I think we all did.
Knew or were.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah. So I'll pick on myself now. Why wasn't I? How was I different from an elitist snob? He's an elitist snob, but his tastes are pretty actually basic. So he would go, because this is 90s. So yeah, we had dial-up at this point. So he would scour AOL and all the websites to look for these bands that he didn't even really listen to. He listened to the mainstream stuff, but would just scour for this just kind of trippy otherwise stuff.
It's like a Britney Christina Aguilera mixed CD. Blaring that. Oh, Nirvana. Wow, this poser.
Definitely that kind of a more style over substance type.
Yeah.
Oh, what role would he be? Because we got the front man. We'll say I will say he's the bass. He'll say he's the bass player within the band. Not looking for the spotlight, but trying to still stand out. Sweet. So we'll pick on the rest of you guys now. So Rich, starting back at the top with the Joker, how were you different than kind of the class clown and the Joker with your stereotype? Which were you maybe the writer? Did you write the songs? Yeah,
That sounds good. I'll totally sing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. Doomer, you are up next. How are you different than kind of the typical outcast, the gothy outcast?
I'd say I'm different because I do pay attention to like I don't know my academic standing. Is that lame?
Yeah.
Just like I don't care about anything, but I actually really do.
Close to the top of your class.
Yeah, but just like no, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I do actually really care about this.
Nice. Oh, and what role was your PC in the band?
In the band, what do we have so far? Frontman, drummer.
Frontman. We don't have drummer yet, so we've got frontman.
Yeah, we
I'm
do.
a drummer.
Oh, do you call drummer?
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah,
you
yeah.
did. Yep, drummer in the band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
I was gonna say bass because that would be
guitar and triangle, I think.
okay. Well, triangle is tempting, but I'll do
Cowbell.
rhythm guitar.
All right.
Oh, I'm just imagining those Casio keyboards that you could program with noises and just fart. Yeah, I mean, it was the 90s, right?
Oh, and if they do have the fart machine, I bet they bring it to the game session, so they'll just like can actually have it live farts with the big exposition.
And then the king turns to you and says,
Sweet. All right, Todd. Actually, Alex Fisher. How were you different than the typical band geek?
Yeah, so perception is that I was, well put together band nerd and whatnot. But I would say like I definitely limped along in school. Like I didn't do well in studies, attention issues or whatever, and just, maybe didn't put in as much effort as I could there. So it kind of contradicted, that perception of a well put together band geek, etc.
All right. Ed, did you say the name of your PC already?
no, but let's go
Good?
with
Okay.
Fred. That's Fred. Fine,
Fred, all right.
Fred. Why
Fred.
not? Fred the front man. Fred Ferguson. Because his
Fred
parents
Ferguson?
his parents like alliteration. Right?
I feel like he's got FF like all over his like clothing too. Like he's
God.
definitely front man with his own lane, like a stylized FF.
Like he wears a lot of Fila.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
The Foo Fighters wouldn't have been out yet if we're in 90s. So
Well, depends on when did Foo Fighters become a thing? Because Nirvana was still around for part of the 90s.
right. So
And then there wasn't Nirvana, and then there Dave Grohl.
that Foo Fighters, like when they came out with their FF logo, that threw you into your existential crisis, right? Like, no, that's me.
That was me. I'm gonna kill Dave Grohl. Oh man.
Nice. So you were the drama kid. How were you different? How are you different than that drama kid stereotype?
Well, again, I don't know. Always fiending for attention, but never seemed to get it from the people that he wanted it from. I mean, he can get really sad here and say his parents, but I don't know.
That works for this game, yeah.
Yeah.
So his parents kind of they're rich people. It sounds like they probably just threw money at him and kind of ignored him.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, you're not dead. Oh, okay, great. Oh, you're in jail. Well, we got a lawyer. Don't worry. It's like what? I don't know. Just kind of we made you, and I guess that's as far as we thought about it.
That works. I'm going to ask you a question. You can either come up with on the spot, or it will come back to you. What were your parents' names, and what did they do? I can come back.
I'm gonna say Fred. Let's make me a Fred Jr. Why not?
Fred Jr. Fred Jr. Fred the second.
Yeah, Fred the second. Put me in Dad's Uncaring Shadow.
And, there you go.
And Margaret. Fred and Margaret. Fred and Marge.
Sweet. All right. Sweet. So we're back around. I already did mine. So new question. When the actually I should come up with a name for my guy. We're rich. He's Vincent Valerez. When Vincent Valerez invited you to the game, why did you decide to jump? Why did you decide to join back in for the new game? Oh no, for the existing game, the first game. So why did you initially decide to join the table, we could say the table or the band, and I'll let you guys decide whether that is whichever. Actually, which came first? Did the table come first, or did the band come first?
I think it's got to be band, right?
The band, yeah. And then Vincent was like, "Hey guys, you want to play D&D tonight?"
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this is a great opportunity to get noticed by people. Oh, you guys want to play a game? Well, my parents don't care whatever the hell I do. Sure.
When I was like, well, we need a bassist. All right, I guess we'll appease them. And then, probably, generally did enjoy the game, but
yeah. But you would not admit it out loud too hard, right?
There was definitely kind of a creative break between when the band got a little too heated, probably. All right. So with that, we'll pick on you, Rich. Why did your character decide to join the game? Or actually, why did your character decide to join the band in the first place? Okay.
All right.
Sweet. Boomer, you're up next. Why did your PC agree to join the band, or why did he reach out to the band?
Nothing better to do, my PC is going to be named. I came up with I wanted a funky name, Cerise Hetfield.
I'm going to ask you how to spell the first part.
Yeah, I can also paste it in there.
Oh, that works perfectly too.
Cerise.
Yeah, I had like 5 different ways to spell it, and none of them look like that.
Exactly. See, that's why they love it.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I spelled both pieces wrong. All right.
No, so I think it's partially like they had nothing better to do, but further down, I think that the reason was just, I don't know, getting through school alone sucks, as much as they might not want to admit it. um, trying to find some other freaks who didn't exactly agree with sort of the preppy lifestyle, or at least weren't exactly the same as everyone else. Yeah.
Nice. All right, Alex Fisher. Why did you agree to join the band?
Yeah, so Alex, I think was interested in, in the band or in the game.
I think we were doing the band for this one. It was the game initially, but we're switching to the band.
Okay, so we're talking about why join the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alex. I mean, drums are a commitment, right? You just got that giant, big ass thing of equipment, and always enjoyed that. But one of those things. I think drums is where you can play guitar by yourself, decently, but with drums you got to have other people to jam with, and so it's just like longing for that. And I think seeing all these bands on MTV and just kids at home, MTV used to show music videos. Yeah, and just being so infatuated with that and wanting that experience of jamming out with other people.
Nice. Fred Ferguson, why did you agree to join the band?
Well, after a good chunk of Fred's life trying to impress his parents with his good deeds and his successes, he at one point decided, well, if they won't notice me succeeding, they should pay attention when I fail. And started neglecting his grades and trying to find other things to throw himself into. And the band came along, and he knows that his parents just cannot stand musicians. So he went in, face first, if you will, to be the face. Nice. And it turns out he actually did really enjoy it. Who would have thought making mommy and daddy mad would actually be kind of fun for him? I mean, not that they noticed, but it's the journey. It's what you do along the way. And it turns out the grunge band was fun. What's the name of our band?
Oh yeah, that's another question.
That's a good question.
I'll throw in why Vincent joined the band or started the band. You guys think of a cool, fun name for your band. He's an elitist snob, so I bet he was like at lunch talking, just like animatedly talk about why some band was bad, and somebody's like, "You couldn't do better." He's like, "Oh, I can keep my own band going. I can do that." He got a garage band going. So yeah, what was the name of our band? What do we play as? That's a good one.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, it's a PRBT, P per B art. Yeah.
Oh man.
Trying
Nirvana
to play off of that. Vincent's trying to prove a point, like if there's a word for that. Not objection, but
I'm now. I like Celestial Pipeline. I feel like Vincent probably tried to work that into the campaign like numerous times, but it never really landed well.
You guys are sewer workers in heaven.
Posture range. I'm just looking at a random word generator now. Embrace bean.
something campaign, like a name campaign.
Oh yeah.
So like there's like a a creature or a BBEG from the game, and so like yeah, whatever.
Mm.
Oh. Something like classic, like Orcus. The Orcus campaign or Orcus campaign.
Or just I do like just Orcus.
Orcus, right?
How you spell that, Rich?
I
Okay.
think so.
Is it something or? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. There you go.
All right, so we got our band name. We've got our the reasons we decided to join the group. So the last big. Oh, no, I thought it was
Orcus.
Orcus.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. So the last big thing that we're doing for the individual questions before we go back to the main questions is what were some of your outside interests outside of the band and the game? Like, what were some of your favorite like TV shows, books, games, comics? What were some of your favorites? And for this one, I recommend, unless you got a real clear picture of like your PC, throw in some of your personal favorites in that way. Just gonna shout those out. So we'll go in the same order, but we do have a new name. So Rich, what's your PC's name? Perfect.
Nice.
So, what were Joey? What were some of your favorite interests? Nice. Perfect. All right. Seriously, what were some of your interests?
I think
Cerise, not
Cerise,
not
yeah.
Cersei.
Game of Thrones.
I'm like, that didn't sound right. But,
Cerise.
I feel like we're
Yes.
all gonna butcher your name in different
Thank you.
ways.
I think
And
that's
that's
in
part
character
of the
as well.
charm. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Yo,
Everyone
Siri.
butchers her name, you know.
I just gotta stop trying to read it. I just gotta stop
Excuse me, Siri.
Hey, Rice.
I think Siri was into. See, now I'm doing it as well because of you guys. Siri was into a lot of like classic movies, you know, specifically like creature features and stuff. You know, and then for more like contemporary things, I'm thinking to go with the aesthetic, of course, like Elvira, the Mistress of the Darkness, of course. I think, yeah, Buffy was around in the late 90s, you know, Buffy the Vampire
Yes.
Slayer. Stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Holds up.
It does.
It does. My wife and I watched a little bit of that recently. Actually, that's a tangent. We'll skip that. But yeah, I was gonna go down the road. Alex Fisher, what were some of your interests in kind of favorite genres?
Yeah, Alex cherished those good old Saturday morning cartoons. Gargoyles, X-Men, and then some of the other like the Disney stuff, Gummy Bears and Rescue Rangers, DuckTales. Those were, just significant memories for her, and still just really enjoys seeing reruns and things like that. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff. She always part of her distraction to schoolwork and then interest in the game that we played was that distraction and that pursuit of like some greater adventure.
Nice. All right, Fred, you're up. What was some of Fred's interests?
Frasier.
Oh no.
Classic.
You can change it.
I love Kelsey Grammer. I don't give a damn. That man is hilarious.
Jeez.
I think he saw some of himself in the Frasier character.
Right.
A flawed man who will never admit that he wants attention, but my God, does he?
True.
Yeah, no, I recently rewatched a lot of that, and yeah. when it comes to that, I think I'm in line with the Saturday morning cartoons. I'm trying to think of stuff in the 90s that I love, and man, oh man, that just tops the chart every time. Along with Frasier, I was a weird kid.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. I like that.
What do you mean you don't know who Apollo is? I'm just
Sweet.
So
we've got. Oh yeah, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good there.
Sweet. I think I've already mentioned Vincent's, but yeah, the Greek mythology. I pick up some of my own favorite Star Wars, and he was a Saturday morning cartoon guy. It's Todd. I'm glad you mentioned gargoyles. There's definitely something gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Top of the pack there. Sweet. We've gotten over the individual persona generation questions. Now there's a couple big questions which we're going to kind of wrap up with. So each of you guys will take one of these, and then there'll be a follow-up question later down the line with it. And then we'll wrap it up, and we'll see who you guys, what classes you end up being. So I'm actually going to take a quick second to read these to see what would fit best now that we've talked about your PC. Okay. All right. So we're not going to go into the visual order with this. We're just going to go in as I see one that I think will fit. Fred, you had a goal in life. What was it? Like when you were in high school, what was that goal that was like, you probably always talked about it. What was that goal for you?
I think it would have eventually been to be famous.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it would have eventually coalesced. Like, notice me. No, well, maybe the rest of the world will notice me. And
Nice.
Wonder if that worked out or not.
Was it always just as a band person, or did you have any other things you wanted to be known for?
No, again,
anything.
It wasn't about the band. It was about being seen.
All right.
But the band was fun. But
good vehicle for it. Good vehicle.
Yeah. It's not about the journey. It's about the death. Wait a minute. That's not how that goes. Anyway.
All right. I think this would be good for Joey. Joey, you had an all-consuming interest, near absolute obsession. What was it for Joey? Nice. Cerise, did I get that right?
Yeah.
I had to pause and think about it for a moment because I keep wanting to read Cersei off my sheet, but it's not Cersei. But it's not.
Are you sure that he got that right?
Yeah. Cerise.
Perfect. You had something specifically shitty, especially shitty, to deal with, like whether in your home life, your school life, personally. What What was that? What was that kind of that awful thing they had to deal with?
How awful we talking here?
Oh, well, I'll give you some of the examples.
Yeah.
One or both of your parents died.
Mhm.
You fell in with the wrong crowd and got a record. You were seriously ill, or you had to stay in the closet. And something else too is always an option.
I like the closet one. I was already imagining Cerise is just
Perfect.
absolutely outrageously gay.
All right. Sweet. So we got
In the
that.
90s at a prep school, you know, it'd be like that.
Especially.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh. My heart.
All right. Last but not least, Alex, something at school was especially important to you. What was it? And they list some things too, like you had dazzling good looks, you were really popular, you had a girlfriend or a significant other that was really into you or everything to you, supportive family who encouraged you, but it could be something else. It's just something that's very important to you during your school time.
No, that's a good one.
Almost too good.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
It is. The entire campaign
Yeah,
hinges on this.
we can give
Rest
you a
on your
note on
great
this one
shoulders.
too, because there's some follow-up questions, so we can come back to you in a second.
Okay.
And we can pick all the follow-up questions because now we are leaving the high school range. It's 10 years have passed. The band's gone our own ways. We've graduated. We're probably around 28-ish. Kind of in that peak bleak period where you've either gotten to your corporate job or you're still hunting. It's that unfun period of your life. But yeah, so we're going to ask a follow-up question and then get it. Oh,
yeah, sorry to cut in. I had something pop up. A relationship with I'm gonna go with our custodian.
all right.
Like this, he was super cool dude that, knew the coolest music and stuff. And like at lunch periods and things, we would just kind of chat and talk about music and things like that. So it was just this, this cool relationship with them on in that regard. So always was looking to, maybe skip class and just chat music.
Perfect.
So a
What
solid friendship with a custodian.
Yeah.
Because when you said my eyes bugged down on that
Like,
first
whoa.
one, like, whoa.
That was gonna be a follow-up question. That was gonna. Rich, how are you thinking?
Oh, hell yeah.
So he kind of
That
let
works.
us into the secret. Yeah.
If Alex is good with a custodian, they can leave a door unlocked for us. Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Sweet. So there's actually two more questions before we go on. These are ones that anybody can jump out and just say it. Or actually three questions. Or four. Actually, there's four. Who was the smartest? Who did the band feel was the smartest? May not be the actual smartest, but who did the most
Who did they
people in the
think was
band
the smartest?
agree was the smartest?
All right. I've got a feeling Vincent thought he was the smartest.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think
Does
that's
anybody disagree on that one?
yeah.
No, I think that
that's-
works. I'd say it could have been Alex as well, at least the perception, but also I think everyone, this close group, understands Alex's real, persona. doesn't necessarily buy into the perception that she might have amongst the rest of the schools. So yeah, it works otherwise.
I can dig it.
So this will be a fun one. Who was the best looking of the group?
It's got to be the front man, right?
I think Fred.
So I knew Fred would say Fred. I wasn't sure what the rest would say Fred.
Yeah.
I'll get a haircut before next session. I'll gussy up a little bit.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You think I can go? It's gonna somehow go more to my head. Come on.
Perhaps.
All right. So in the group, who did people pick on the most in the band?
Pick on.
Say.
I think the closeted gay girl might have.
Cerise or Alex? Yeah.
I think it's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, the group as a whole picked on that person.
Oh,
So,
I thought the school. Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
oh no,
Okay.
this is the group. Yeah,
Within
this
the
is
group.
Oh, then I think it's a unanimous. Everyone say it with me, right? Vincent.
Fair enough.
You don't even listen to. I bet you listen to their music, Vince. What are you even talking about?
I bet Vincent got asked like name 3 songs for them, like a lot.
Yeah.
To the point that he would start memorizing 3 songs.
Yeah.
Like, are those your DM notes or the notes you wrote about your song?
Rocks fall, you all die. Shut up.
All right. Last 2 questions before we get to the last piece. Did anybody in the group have a crush on anybody else in the group? And if so, did it go anywhere?
I think I'll say. I'd say probably Fred.
I would say, all right, well, let's make this a really weird little triangle. Okay, so Cerise is like gay, but do we know that she's gay?
I figured if it's not explicitly said, it's sort of just understood, you know?
Okay, because that could be like, look, why don't you want to just give me a chance? Come on, we get along so great. We hang out all the time.
I feel like Cerise would bring down her walls a little bit, you know, and like then the group, you know,
because never because that has been done to death, I think, a little bit. Maybe not to death, but I've seen it enough. But you were thinking Alex having a crush on I can't get enough of myself, Fred.
Yeah, and she hates it too.
It's like God.
Maybe emphasis on like had too. Doesn't have. Okay. It's not existing, but yeah.
I can't believe I ever saw something.
Maybe anytime he does something.
Maybe really learn who the real Fred was like. Yeah. Or maybe it turned into kind of actually he's more like a brother type thing.
That I can dig. I like it.
Yeah. But it was there, and it's still, at least for her, maybe there's just kind of that, awkwardness. But yeah.
Or embarrassment, like this guy combs his hair more than I do.
I do see Alex as a little tomboyish. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
yeah, I think it is possible that Cerise would have a very small little hidden crush on sorry, remind me of the name again. Alex. I keep
me.
Yes.
Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kept hearing it Alice. I was like, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Toots. On Toots.
All right.
I think that would be like Alex would be completely oblivious to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cerise, you're cool. Yeah. We hang out, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's just I think, that's just par for the course for high schoolers, I'd say.
Yep.
100%. All right, this is the last pass question for sure. Who did the group fear at school, and why? This is again for everybody. So, who was like the group or the person that you guys just feared, and why did you fear them, or even just hate them? Hate or fear, your choice.
outside of our little circle, right? Or
Oh, outside. This is outside your circle. This is
okay,
the wider school.
So who would a bunch of musicians hate?
Probably jocks.
Go for it.
Prep school, and it's supposed to prepare you for college. So there's a
Did we
Yeah.
prank this dude? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So the dean that kind of held your futures over your heads. And he kind of seems like the type that would like most deans probably try to care, look like they care, but he seems like the type that just really held it over you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, need you to act X, Y, and Z way before I can sign off. And just real douchey about it, right? All right.
He cares about the power.
Yeah, all right.
He's about the power, and he's really talking. He's always talking about the school's reputation. He's like, "Oh, this school's
Yeah.
been around for X amount, 100 years, and
Thousand
traditions, and all that."
I'm just imagining like voluntold to do things like help around, like, oh, you know, when I'm filling out those recommendation letters, I'll be thinking of all the people that lended a hand in getting things set up today. And if you don't, well, you might just fade to the back of my memory.
I know I couldn't write something for somebody. I couldn't remember lifting a chair and cleaning something before.
Right.
All right. Sweet. So we've got the past taken care of. I know we've got a little bit of a stop time coming up. So we're going to get to the next big questions, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So we are going following up on some of those big questions. So let me pull up my list here a little bit. So Fred, you had that big goal in life. You didn't achieve it. What happened?
Well, I guess I let the pursuit of fame kind of take over, and there was nothing to really be famous for. Fred's no Paris Hilton. So I'm gonna struggle a bit trying to figure out with what a person like that would end up doing. By the way, I'm open to suggestion. If anybody's got something good, I'll take it.
So he's a front man, so he likes to talk. Cliche. I think you may have already mentioned it. But he could have wound up as a car salesman because he likes to talk. He likes that center of attention piece, and he wants to kind of keep
a used car salesman.
Oh man,
Does that fit for Fred?
yeah. I'd say he likes. If he can't be famous, he at least likes to win.
Oh, I bet the win, and you guys are with a rich school, so I bet you probably inherited your parents' car station, and you probably like put yourself in cheesy ads.
Oh no!
Oh
Imagine
yes,
some little billboards, you know.
yeah. Like, yo,
Fred too wants to see you in a Cadillac.
yeah.
Call 444444.
Get ready for the deals with Freddie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
Oh boy.
All right.
I think I hate myself a little bit now. Fred goes home to his mirror, looks at it, just wondering where. Sorry, hard stop. I know you got to go. Next person.
No worries. So Alex, you had that special relationship with the janitor, the custodian.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ernie.
Ernie. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
And you lost it. So how did you lose it, and what happened maybe there?
I think we're gonna go with Ernie passed away.
Whew.
That's exactly where my head was at.
Yeah.
100%. Just how did it end? He died.
Oh, let's say Ernie passed away. Let's say Ernie passed away recently, and maybe that's why we're getting all back together to play the game.
Yeah.
The gang's
like it.
getting back together. In town for the funeral.
All right, Joey. Oh, yeah, this one writes this up for you. Your all-consuming interest. It's no longer in your life. Why? Okay. Nice. All right. So Cersei or Cerise. I'm gonna keep doing that. It's gonna be a thing. Where's the follow-up question for that one? Oh yeah, so you had the specifically shitty thing to deal with. You were in the closet at the time of the preppy school. The thing that made your life bad then, it still kind of haunts you today. It still impacts your life. How does that impact her life?
I think she got sort of, used to being in the closet, used to keeping sort of that wall up, or especially around strangers. I think still she distances herself just because she's afraid of, having backlash because of the type of person that she is, and the type of people she loves. So she keeps that distance still, especially with regards to that subject.
Definitely. All right. Did I do everybody for that one?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
You gotta do Vincent.
Oh yeah, I gotta do Vince.
Oh,
I was trying to pick one for the first time for him. I keep forgetting. Hard part being the player in this one as well. Let's see what would he do. So we're playing Rich Kids. So he had a goal in life. I've just watched too much of this, but he wanted to take over his father's business. He wanted to succeed, to get his full succession on. He wanted to be the CEO of his dad's business. But Vincent's just like a know-it-all who didn't really like to put the work in. And his dad eventually sold the company out from under him. And now he's really rich, but he's just kind of loafing it around. He's bumming around, complaining about how hard his life is in like amazing locales. Like he's in the bees of like, what am I going to do now? I don't have anything to do. And just completely had lost track of his privilege there. So that'll be for him.
I've got something that again just came to me, and if you guys don't like it, we can stick to the car salesman. Preacher.
Oh, that works too.
Don Osmond, like, hey, like, look at my white suit, look at my big smile. Ooh, I love it, and Jesus loves you. Like,
probably like a drastic flip too from like his high school persona, right?
yeah. I'm thinking about like, man, who are people that really like attention? Like, and it just kind of hit me. Reverend, yes. Oh my God, yeah. Because I was thinking about like who are people that really like to get their face out there, and I'm thinking of like mega church.
Joel Steen.
Yeah. So if you got the parents that are willing to foot that bill at least to get you started, yeah, you can get your face out there.
Trying to figure out now. That's what I'm
Sorry for that curveball. It struck me. Do you guys like that vibe?
Oh no, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
Okay.
All right. Sweet. So we are. There's a couple extra questions. I'm going to throw those in Discord. We're going to wrap up now. We're going to go over the classes. I think everybody is. And if anybody objects, we can kind of play around with it too. But Fred, I'm gonna go with yours. I was debating when you mentioned it, but I'm going preacher. Before you said preacher, like I was debating which one it would be, but preacher, dictator. You will be the crew's dictator. There'll be find a cool D4 if you can amongst your dice collection. There's a whole thing that we'll do. Actually, one thing to point out too, when we come back Tuesday of next week, we're gonna start like as our personas and then dive into the world. There's a whole thing with giving the dice, but I wanted to give you a chance to read over the class first before we got into that piece. So you will be our dictator. So I know the next one, Cerise. You will be our emotionite. So you get to pick one of the emotions on that side and get to decide which one you represent. It could be joy, it could be anger, fear. There's a whole D8 spectrum of them, and you'll also be the D8 as well.
Cool.
No, I'm torn on this. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. Joey, you will be our Godbinder. You will be able to bind them, especially I feel like with the shared mythology background there, that would fit for Joey. Looking for adventure, yeah. And Alex, you will be our fool. So you'll be the D6, the class that is suited for somebody looking to adventure and throw themselves into the thick of it and have some thrills.
I like it.
Sweet. So this was the ritual generation. There's still some ritual pieces left. Not questions, but a game. Places will RP out with it there. Next session, Tuesday, what's that, the 27th, we'll be jumping on and playing this out and getting into the world of Die. So thank you everybody for coming through and hanging out for the ritual generation. Like and subscribe, and then definitely make sure to, if you're watching this one, to go, I'll have it in the comments, click notify me for our first game Tuesday the 27th. As always with our games of the month, we're going to be giving away a free PDF copy of the RPG core book, but we're going to be giving that away Thursday the 29th. Tuesday the 27th, we're actually going to be giving away volume 1 of the comic. So one lucky viewer will get to win that. So make sure you come through for both of them, but definitely come through and get a chance to read about this world. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.